Well, how's it going, guys? Big Time Dom here. I'm back again with another video, and it's a great time, too. Big time means we do big things. So, what big things do we have planned for the near future? What could be done in like 2023, 2024, even more in the near future? Now, at the same time, I'm not trying to get anybody's hopes too high. That's to be expected with many of us here who are criticizing so many things here, even stuff we don't like to criticize, which is basically political things. Even the stuff that I think, well, it needs to be talked about, it needs to also be shut up about. That goes to many people around this era, including nighttime for me, because I wanted to do it at night because it's one of those important things here. What do I want to talk about, pretty much, is the question. And that's what I've been trying to think about for the past weeks, while also making a very nice intro. I hope you loved it. But what would I talk about? Mainly, I think, since we're only a couple of days away until April, April is Autism Awareness Month. And being an autistic person, I do feel the kind of like struggles and the kind of like, the things that you're not able to do while you are, have this disability. Autism itself, as I've heard from people and pretty much as much, like many times just people, the internet and everything, it delays like pretty much, development in the social life, pretty much like, going out with friends or just basically just going out in general. I have that struggle pretty much. Other times basically liking the exact same thing. That's common for many people in my eyes. Like annoying noises. Like I hate the clicking. Now I'm not kidding when I say this. I hate the clicking sounds that many people make with their mouths. And it bothers me. As an autistic person, it bothers me. I don't know why kids, especially kids in the most worst of demographics out there, and I mean the hip crowd, literally make this sound and they say it's cool, Like Mr. T would not say it's cool. So I definitely do feel the struggles of being an autistic 22-year-old man. But at the same time, autism, I think in my eyes, is not only a curse, but mostly a blessing, to be more precise. I mean, it's got me to do so many things, especially having this YouTube channel and having the best subscribers out there. I just can't thank it enough. And to many of the people, I did talk about it later when I was Dom's Vlogs. It was like, what, like very long time ago, like probably during the days of BO3 and BO4 for Call of Duty. Yeah, it's been that long, and I wanted to call it out there. It was so huge. It was kind of like, like saying like, many different things of who you are, You're autistic, you basically are like, an immigrant, or you're gay. It was very, very huge on YouTube, and it was trending. I mean, my video was not trending. I mean, I think you have to get like what, a certain amount of views to say that you're trending, and at the same time, I'm still not in the best state I am now, with my channel. I'm not higher as the many other YouTubers out there, but I am the type of person who, if you want some comfort, I'm here for you. I can tear apart anything you wish. I can tear apart anything you wish. I can just bash on it and just, put my thoughts on it. The thing is, you have to have a second opinion. You don't have a second opinion, then basically you're stuck with just one. You need a second thought. You need at least a second mind that literally says, is it good? Is it bad? Are there good things? Are there bad things? Etc., etc. And that's kind of like what I was here for. And I mostly wanted to figure like, what do we need to do to change this? Now, of course, autism, there was no change here. As a matter of fact, I've gotten disgusted pretty much. And this is kind of like the whole thing. Now, I'm not going to go for, like Autism Speaks. Like Mysterious Mr. Intern has already bashed on that part a million times over. But I wanted to bash on a creator that created one of my favorite shows. Actually, two of them, maybe three. From Tough Puppy to Danny Phantom and the Fairy Odd Parents. I'm talking about Butch Hartman. Alone, he is an amazing person who made so many amazing ideas. And he basically could have been really good and you could have like expected great things about him. But he did turn down himself, and I think it was mostly down to how stupid he's gotten. And I'm saying this out loud here, and this is going to a person who's also a Catholic, you know? And this is one of the most insulting things I've ever seen, from like religion to disability to even being a complete human being. And the fact that he uses the phrase weak rhymes with critique, I find myself being insulted by that. Not only do I feel like you're being insulted by that, you feel like you know better. At the same time, here's the thing. You don't know shit. That's what I'll point for you. You don't know anything of the sorts here. Yeah, you have the kind of like sort of the rights, if you want to call it that, especially for a guy who literally has his name in the credits of that show. The problem is, you did it on Nickelodeon. It's their show. They can do whatever they wish for it. They can rebrand it for a new season. They can remake it. They can make it into a kids thing. They can do whatever they wish. That's Nickelodeon for you, and that's what happens when you sign a contract with a big budget studio. But the religion part of you, and I want to go this straight to your wife as well, because both of you are complete stupid idiots at this. You think that basically praying to God itself could cure a disability like autism. You know, I went to sleep once, and God himself did come out upon me to clearly state that's not true. And I trust you. My dad is gone. I literally will say that with my biggest sadness, and I cry it every single time. My dad is gone. Yet he tells me that autism is good. You clearly are stating that praying to God, Jesus, Hail Mary, whoever, could cure autism. Either you are so into your religion, or you're the most paranoid person in the world that you clearly don't know what life and reality is. That's what I think. You are completely in the void of idiocracy. Idiocracy is one of the things I hate in not only media, I hate it in the world, I hate it with people who are literally stuck up rich people out there. I hate it even to people who are actually starting a freaking war. Can't stand them because they think they know better. Because they basically, you know, they do a big speech to the crowd and they all cheer on, when in reality they don't even know what they were cheering. You know, oh, this guy made a very excellent show and it was so good for the kids, you know, and then you actually figure out later on that he dwindled down, and that was the big one. You're starting to become closer to how, well, John Craig Faluski was with Nickelodeon. Pretty much in the same standards. He's not allowed to do any more animations ever. Now he could do it on his blog, that's a different story. But anything else in TV or media, other media, he's not allowed to. He's not allowed to put any animations. He's not allowed to write any of them there. He's not allowed, he's basically not allowed, period, after the problems with him. With you, I wouldn't be surprised if you did the Charles Manson route. So, correct me if I'm wrong here. Praying to God and Jesus helps you cure autism. The fact that I heard that was insulting enough as is. And this goes to a guy who has dealt with it for 22 years. I've dealt with this disability for 22 years, and it still hadn't backed me down yet. I have times I have my outbursts, there are times I have my limits, but at the same time, I have grown up. The thing is, for somebody who is old as you, Butch Hartman, and your wife, you hadn't grown up. You should. That goes the same with the stupid followers you support. I'm not surprised that you're actually the leader of this damn church. You basically kiss his freaking toes, which is kind of nasty if you may think. because that is ridiculous. At the same time, any type of like belief like that is just ridiculous. You look at Charles Manson beliefs here. He is a natural criminal, and I'm happy he's dead. I'm happy he's dead. The old guy, I'm happy that old man's dead. So you don't no crook, no like crook who really wants to be reformed can deal with him. No guard wants to deal with him. Nobody in the world with his stupid third grade education would want to deal with this guy. So I'm happy he's dead. But he put an entire family to killing a pop star just because of some stupid beliefs. The guy is deranged, and he is, oh my god, he pisses me off. And yes, let's talk about another cult that I can't stand, Heaven's Gate. I talked about this cult before. As a matter of fact, I've done it very early on. At the same time, their beliefs were pretty much very delusional. And I hate delusional things. And despite the fact their website is still up since 1999, which is surprising because there's nothing new about it. There's nothing interesting about it. The only thing you can do is just, try to get it banned. And that's crazy enough as is that something back from 1999 is still there about a suicide cult, pretty much. That's what I would call this Heaven's Gate. It's a suicide cult. And you never want to be part of that type of cult, ever. If you have troubles in your beliefs and stuff, if you have any troubles at all, I recommend you call someone. Get some help. That's what I recommend. But I do not recommend you joining these types of people. And that goes to the same with Butch here. I do not recommend being in Butch's freaking cult ever, because he is clearly the poison, one of the poisons, the vultures, the rats, the scum, the maggots out there that literally are causing trouble in the world. And I don't like poking fun of people, because literally it's pretty much, at the same time, it's very, very cruel. And yes, I've seen the whole Chris Rock and Will Smith, argument in the like Academy Award things or whatever they call it. Yes, Will Smith acted very childish. It's funny, yes, but he acted very childish. He should have acted a little bit more mature, at least. He could have at least said, like he said, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth, which he said. That's his words, not mine. He could have said that instead of slapping him. Now, I'm not going to go into that, but I am going to go into this, is that having some common sense is the huge meaning of life itself, a huge meaning of survival. We could be violent, yes. I can agree. There are times I've gotten violent, but there are times where I've stopped the violence and I wanted to just have peace. I just don't want anybody to be suffering and basically suffering, and they just don't know what they are doing. Like, literally the Heaven's Gate cult just thought, they changed their names to like stupid ass names, and they drink this like cocktail of poison, and then they basically asphyxiated themselves just to create a certain type of religious ceremony to bring them to this freaking comet by aliens. See, that stuff doesn't ring, does not click with me. It never will. In my life, it never will. I will stick to my Call of Duty, my Red Dead Redemption 2, if you might add. I'll look at some horror movies that look at basically some other things, But here's the thing, I will never join something that is literally that bad. I would never even join Dracula's little freaking cult. If you know Dracula, and pretty much I've heard it in many of the movies I have, like Bride to Dracula, the way he did it was trying to destroy Christianity. That's what vampires were usually for. They were trying to destroy a religion, and failed in the process because they know for the fact that they've cursed themselves because of it. So I would never even join that, but I would watch the movies because they're very creative. They're very interesting. They give a lot of like experience, basically something to fulfill for the modern day. I would expect a Dracula movie to return in the modern day, but at least it had to be something faithful to the original story. I do not favor anything of Butch Hartman. I'd stay away from that. That's what pissed me off. So, at the same time, before I go on a rant, before I start going on a rant, which I don't want to, so I'm going to stop. Autism is a very big disability, but the higher functioning ones should be able to learn very well. And I think that's why there are reasons why schools have special needs style classes. Many kids with special needs need to be treated with respect. If any of them have problems, they can go see it with a counselor, they could go see it with like a therapist if the teacher is not capable of doing something that a therapist or a counselor can do. There are times I had to go through counseling, there are times I've had a therapist, at least one. And it was tough for me. It was tough. Nowadays, I've changed. Nowadays, I want to start working now. And that is what I'm trying to do. And I think that's what many people should do. And I hope that, to my eyes, to many of you, it doesn't matter what disability. If it's me with an autism, if it's somebody with like Down syndrome, or somebody who's a paraplegic or a quadriplegic, I do feel you. I feel every single part of you. But at the same time, I don't want any people to do the wrong thing. There are times I've done the wrong thing. I've made mistakes. But the saying goes, if you make a mistake, you improve on it. Don't make any more mistakes. So I am intending not to make those mistakes ever again. So I just want you all to remember that. And this was a very serious topic. It was very serious for me. I hope everybody has a very good weekend at least. I hope you all have a very nice weekend, or at least a very nice week. We're already almost close to Thursday and Friday, but have a nice night. Have a nice autism month. Have a nice April. And anybody who's going to be watching WrestleMania, I hope you guys enjoy it. Because if it's going to be what they call stupendous, I hope it is. And let's hope in 2023 or 2024, this whole pandemic will end. But I'm not getting my hopes up on that. But I'll catch you in the next one.